同学们好。
老师好。
Great, thank you. So it's class 36. We reviewed the shuttles last week, so we finished doing the shuttles. We'll be reviewing particularly shuttle number 3 and any other shuttles you want to do and any other things you want to do. And what I plan to do today is to move ahead, do the transition from the shuttles to Grassbird's tail, and then do snake creeps down. But we'll see how it goes. So let's begin with our standing practice. And so let's just start feet shoulder width apart and bend your knees slightly, sink your weight onto the feet. Before we bring the arms up, the essential we're looking at this month is sink the shoulders, drop the elbows. And what I want you to do when you're doing that is feel that your shoulders are relaxing and just sinking, opening down your back, and feel that your elbows have a little weight attached to them and are sinking down as well. So let's go into the posture and do a couple of minutes. So we'll do the usual. So from here, let's start at the hips. Feel your waist relax, so the hip drops straight down. Make sure your weight is even front and back over the bubbling well, crotch rounded. And relaxing the waist helps you open the back and absorb the chest. So feel that. Feel your elbows extending away from the spine. That'll absorb your chest, relax, and open the back. Now feel your shoulders sinking down. It's often easy as we round the back for the shoulders to creep up. So feel your shoulders relaxing down. Feel little strings with weights on your elbows, pulling your elbows down. And feel your head lifting, so the crown of the head lifting up and everything else hanging down. We want the upper body light and the lower body sinking. The catchphrase is sink the chi, so feel your breath sinking. If we allow the shoulders to come up, to sort of rise up, the chi rises up too. Our chest becomes tense, so sinking the shoulders down gives us more stability, helps us with our breath. And because the elbow is connected to the shoulder with the upper arm bone, what our elbows do influences what the shoulders do. So we want to have the elbows dropping as well. And in the last 30 seconds, just feel your breath. As you breathe in, this posture helps you have a lot of space for your abdomen to expand as the diaphragm contracts. And then as you breathe out, your abdomen gets smaller again. So let's just open up and just start gently moving. Press down and breathe out. Rotate the arms and lift. Press down. And one more. Open. Press down. And stop. Okay. Welcome, Rogelio. Great to see you. So we'll practice the form, see from the beginning of the third section, see if there are any questions. We'll definitely, and we'll talk about the Fair Ladies Work Shuttle. Rogelio had a question last week. I did some research. I have some answers on that. One of the things I'd invite you to attend to is think about sink the shoulders and drop the elbows as we do the form, particularly with Fair Lady Work Shuttle. So for example, when we're in Fair Lady Work shuttle here, particularly this upper arm, it's very easy for us to have the arm, the whole shoulder come up. So make sure that your shoulder is down. Now you can see your elbow is higher than the shoulder, but there's still a difference if I lift my arm between lifting my whole upper arm as my elbow lifts. You can see my shoulder, my whole shoulder is hiking up. And on the other hand, keeping the shoulder down and lifting the elbow. So that's what we mean by elbow down, elbows dropping even when it's above the shoulder here. So feel that sinking down. There are other places in the form where that's very visible too. So when we do, we're not going to do that in this little section. When we do white crane, that's another time, similar movement. The arms are lifting. Make sure that you're not hiking your shoulder, that you're keeping your shoulder down, even though the elbow is up. Okay, let us practice together. We'll start in cross hands. I will just call the movements, and we'll go through the shuttles. Cross hands ending posture. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Diagonal single whip. Wild horse parts its mane. 1. 2. 3. And here's another place to think about shoulder down. Grassbird's tail. Ward off left. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Fair Lady Work shuttles. 1. 2. 3. 4. 'And stop there. Okay. Are there any questions? I'll go back to Rogelio's question last week. And the question was, why do we have a different upper-lower coordination with Fair Lady 1 and 3 and 4 on the other? So for example, with Fair Lady 3, I'll just do it in this direction. So this was the end, let's say the end of Fair Lady 4, Fair Lady 2. I press down close, and when I touch with the heel, my arms are open. So heel touch, arms open, and strike. But, and this is in fact the ending posture of Fair Lady 1. So let's say I now go into Fair Lady 2, press down, come around, shuttle under, arms close, heel touch. So here you can see my heel is closed, my arms are closed. I open as the foot flattens and then strike. So Rogelio's question is, well, why the difference? So I talked to Nancy Lauscher and Mike Lauscher about that. And so the feeling was that, well, the first thing to remember is that in Fair Lady 2 and 4, we're making a very big turn, right? So for example, we're starting here and we're turning through 135 degrees to here. So it's a big turn, and the fact the turn is almost as big as diagonal flying. And it's the same coordination in diagonal flying too, because when you do diagonal flying, where we've done repulse monkey, we do close and step here, then we do diagonal flying. So the coordination is the same as in diagonal flying, close and step and open. The next deeper, so then it's like fine, so but why still, why is that? Another way to think about it is when we go from 2 to 3, we can actually root pretty easily here. We can just step out and root, and so we're already nicely rooted here for this lifting of the opponent's arm. So we're going to lift here, so we want to be rooted. Because we have to go around further with Fair Lady 2 and 4, we need more time to root, which is why we do the arms cross with the heel touch, and it's not until the foot flattens that we're fully rooted and the arms are out. So we just need more time because we're making a bigger step. The third thing, and these are all, they're not different explanations, they're all just different perspectives on the same thing. If you look at starting with Fair Lady 2 and going into 3, you can see that my right foot has just changed through 45 degrees. I'm going from a bow stance to this corner to a bow stance to this corner. So my direction actually has just changed through 90 degrees. Whereas when I go from 1 to 2, if you look at this supporting foot, it's going to turn through 135 degrees. Oh, let me start a little bit further back. So this foot turns through 135 degrees, and now you can see that this back foot, you can't see my back foot. Let me try it from here. Let's see if you can see the back foot now. No, you can't. Let's try it on this side. Sorry guys. So we're here, come around, step. The back foot here is going to turn through the back foot is actually going to turn through 135 degrees. So the foot that moves, the back foot, has to go through 135 degrees in the big turn. And our body direction actually turns through 270 degrees. So there's just a lot more business to get done, which is why we don't get finished with opening the arms until the foot is flat. How does that sit with you? Does that begin to make sense, Rogelio?
Yeah, it's not that it didn't make sense before, but in Fair Ladies 2 and 4, I think.
Yep.
What happened during the flattening of the foot was relevant, and in the others,
that's right,
was not highlighted. That's basically the origin of the question. So
okay.
I don't think it was that deep, my question, but I'm glad that you made it into that much detail, because there was something happening between heel and flattening and 2 of the Fair Ladies, but in the other one, it wasn't clear that there was something happening there. It was
there are different things happening.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we'll practice all the Fair Ladies Last week we did 3, so we'll focus on 3 today. But let me just get a read. I just want to hear thumbs up and thumbs down. How do you feel about the shuttles overall? Who feels thumbs up? Who's thumbs up on the shuttles? Okay, who's on the shuttles? Okay, okay. So folks are on the shuttles. Are there any of the shuttles in particular that you feel you want to do more work on? Yes, Lorraine.
The 2 and 4, because I'm doing the modified way.
Yes.
And my footwork, I'm not too sure how I'm ending up.
Very good. Okay, let's do that. So let us do, yeah, 2 and 4 are pretty much the same. And so let's see. Yep. So let's do it this way. So I'm imagining, you know, we're all facing towards the front over there. So we're in a left bow stance to the corner. And we're just going to do the modified footwork. I'm not going to worry about the arms yet. So shift your weight back, turn the left foot around as far as it'll go, step behind yourself with the right foot, pivot the left heel so the left heel is pointing to the side. That's setting up the back foot for your bow stance to the other corner. So you should now be in a bow stance to the other corner. You've gone from this corner to that corner, and you've gone from a left bow stance to a right bow stance. So let's do that again. So we're in a left bow stance to the right hand side corner. Shift weight back, turn the left foot in as far as it'll go, step behind, pivot the left foot so that it points to the side. Now pick up the right foot and step it out into a bow stance to the corner, heel ball toe bend knee. Okay? So now let's add the arm movements. That'll give you a few more repetitions, Lorraine. And let's see how that goes. So now, oh yes, something I noticed with the beginning of all of these, I just want to make sure that we're all in sync, is that when we press down, there's 2 things happening. The first is we're pressing down and the arms are more or less chest height. So we're not pressing down to here. We're just nice, like that. Yes, Laura. Just to there. That's right. The other thing that I want you to remember is that as you press down, there's a body turn. There's a body turn that's happening as you press down. Yeah. And notice the position of the fingers versus yeah, you're looking good, Lorraine, and Laura, yeah, and Laura, you're looking good too. Yep. And so, Rogelio, when you press down, I want you to just be sure that the orientation is like this, of the fingertips to the forearms. Yeah. Yes, very good. Yep. And so the one arm is sort of to the side, and they're sort of 90 degrees to each other. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my camera angle is not very good. Good. So that's just a little preamble. So we're now left bow stance to the right hand side corner, left arm up. Shift back, weight press down. We'll do modified footwork. Pull. Step around. And as you establish your left foot to the side corner, start doing your arm circle. Shuttle the right under the left. Step out, heel touch. So when your heel touches ground, your arms are closed. Then foot flattens, push out. Do that again. So left bow stance, left hand high. Shift weight back, body turning, push down. Turn the left foot in. As you walk around, start rotating your arm, shuttling the right under the left so that when the right foot heel touches, your arms are crossed. Open the arms as the foot flattens. Bend the knee as you strike with the left. So one of the things like that I had my back to you, so let's, you probably got this right. I just want to make sure we're in sync. When we push down and we're pulling. We start with palms down. Then we're going to rotate both hands palm up and shuttle one under the other. Yes, very nice. Yep, that looks good. Good. Okay, let's do that again. So left bow stance, hand up, shift weight back, press down. Pull, now step behind you with the right. Start shuttling the arms. Step with the left to the side as heel touches, arms closed, foot flattens, arm open, and strike. One more time, this time with the standard footwork. Shift weight back, press down. Pull, left foot to the back when the arms are parallel. Now step around 135 degrees, arms crossed, heel down, foot flattens, arm open, knee bend, strike out. Hold that posture for a moment. Check your bow stance. Make sure you're not your hip isn't jutting out to the right. Make sure your right shoulder is down and the elbow is down, palm over the head. Fingertips horizontal. Yes, very good. Okay. How's that? It's good. Okay. Let's review number 3. Laura, just want to check that you're okay, or you're deep in thought.
I think my right bow stance at the end,
Yeah.
my heels are too close together.
Ah, good catch. Yes. When you say your heels are too close together, you mean it's more like this rather than like this, sort of more like this rather than like this? Yeah. So that's one of the things that is difficult about this footwork. And so, and in fact, it's even harder with diagonal flying. So working on this is going to just be more opportunity, because the thing is, let's say I'm going to go around the other direction. If I'm starting here, no, I'll go back a bit. I'm starting here. I've actually got to step here. So I've got to make sure I step like to the right with my diagonal foot, so that when my back foot comes around, is this a better direction? No, there is no good way of doing it. Let me do it in this direction. Okay, so I'm going to come around. So when I step, I need to make sure that I'm stepping. Let me take my ruler. In a way, this is a bit like what Rogelio was saying about the other thing. I mean, you know this. I'm just belaboring the point. So I'm sorry this is too boring. But so you can see here, you know, this is the bow stance width that we want. Okay. So now, if I pivot here and I step here, I need to make sure that this line to the corner from my back foot has a lot of space here, because this is what's going to establish my bow stance. So you need to, and our natural inclination is to step here rather than to step here. So think consciously about stepping further to the right, which is what you diagnosed, right? Good. Let's talk about number 3. So we've done number 4. So I'm going to go in the same direction. So this is the direction that you would be practicing. So if the front of the room is here, hang on, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2. Yep. So 2 is to this direction. Right bow stance. Yeah, this should work. So the footwork, we're going to shift back weight, and as we shift back weight, you can see my front toe lifts. Shift front toe lifts. Then just pick up that foot and put the heel back down where it was. So the heel is just going to pick up and put down where it was. shift your weight onto that foot and step out, bow stance. So you've gone from your right bow stance to the left bow stance. That's pretty straightforward footwork, I think. Here's the thing that I want you to pay attention to. So as we shift back weight, as I press down, you see my toe lifts. So as with body turning, I press down, the toe lifts, pick up the foot. Now, when I shift my weight onto the right and the arms open, I want you to reach out with the right hand. So really reach to the side here, so that when you close the arms, the right hand is going to come, the right arm is going to now point to the corner, step out, heel, strike. Yup. By having our right arm go out, actually what's making our right arm go out is the body turning, but thinking about your hand makes your body turn. So let's practice that just a couple of times. So we're in a right bow stance, shift back weight, body turning, press down, right toe lifts, pick up the right foot, put it back down, shift weight onto the right, open the arms, rotate the arms, cross the arms, look to the corner, open, and then shift forward, strike. Do it again. We're in a right bow stance, shift weight back, toe lifts, change footwork, shift onto the right, arms rotate, extend, chest open, chest close, chest open, strike. And now we're going to think about where our chest is pointing, in other words, body turns. So when we begin, our chest is pointing in the same direction as the right foot, in other words, the corner. Shift back weight, press down, toe lifts, my chest is now to the side. Change footwork. Now as I open, my chest is pointing to the corner. As I close my arms, my chest goes back to the side. As I open, I go from side to square to deliver the strike with body turning. So think about the chest going from side to side, the waist leads the limbs. Let me watch you do that and see if there's anything else we should talk about. That's looking good. Just one or two small things I noticed. One is when we begin and press down, I'd like you to just, because as you're pressing down with body turning, you're shifting your weight onto the left, and the right foot will just naturally lift. So don't keep the right foot down and then try and lift it. Use the body turning and the shift of the weight to the left to lift your right toe. So shifting weight back, press down, toe lifts. Now step. Now both arms open. So feel your arms are opening quite wide. Then close them. Then open them again and then strike. Okay, again. So pressing down, change footwork, shift weight to the right, open both arms, close both arms as the left foot comes in, open them again as the left foot steps out, knee bend, strike. So you can see there's a usual yin-yang, open, close, chest to one side, chest to the other side. So always look for the binaries, the changes from one thing to the next. So now let's do the transition from Fair Lady Work Shuttles number 4 to Grass Bird's Tail Ward Off Left. So if we're doing it in the same direction as each other, when you get to Fair Lady number 4, you will be facing away from the front, away from the camera. In other words, the northwest. So you're here. So let me just demonstrate it this way, and then I'll turn around, do it in a slightly different angle. So here, with body turning, both arms rotate, feet don't change. Now shift to the left, right foot comes in, close the arms, step and ward off left. So let me show it in this direction, then we can practice it together. So we were here. We were in a right bow stance. So with body turning, both arms are going to rotate. The upper arm is going to come down from above your head into this shape. The left hand, which was out here, is going to rotate and become this rounded shape, and this is going to be what we call rollback shape. So the left hand is pointed to the right forearm center, the right hand is sitting. So essentially with body turning, so I want you to, and there's another place to think about dropping the elbow. Dropping the elbow will help you drop the shoulder. So there's this rotation. Okay, let's do that. So we're in a right bow stance to a corner. Shift weight back with body turning, rotate both arms. You're most of the weight's now on the left. Pivot the right foot to the front right corner. Just the body changes, the arms don't change. Sit back, pick up the left foot, step out, ward off left. And again. So we've done Fair Lady Work shuttles. Rotating both arms as you sit your weight back, you're in rollback position. Pivot on the right heel, arms don't change. Shifting weight back onto the right, arms close, step out, ward off left. You're in a torso vertical stance. Left arm out, right tiger's mouth pointing at the forearm. So let me, yes, Rogelio.
So the left foot, the first time you said pick up the left foot, so it's not that it goes backwards, it sort of pivots and just moves left, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Depending on how long your bow stance is, remember that in this one, probably you don't have to bring your left foot in and step it back out again. You can just step out directly. So if you remember, what's our rule of thumb for whether we bring the foot in and step back out? When we are about to do that, are our feet more than shoulders width apart? So for me, when I'm in this bow stance, come to here, maybe. Come to here, I close this back foot, and you can see my feet are actually here. They're closer than shoulder width. They're really close. So I can just pick this foot up and step out. I don't have to bring it in. The difference for me, and your footwork may be different, so just explore it. Earlier in the third section, when we got to parting wild horses mane, we're in a slightly different stance, right? Both feet are inside the corners. So we were here. This was the end of parting wild horses mane. When I close here and I come back here, my feet are more than shoulders width apart. So that means I bring in my left foot and then step it back out again to go into ward off left. So just check what and do what feels natural for you. If your feet are more than shoulders width, bring your foot in and out. If they're less, just step out directly.
But if you're doing things right, they should be wider in the first transition from parting the wild horse mane, and they should be in the position to just move it sideways after Fair Ladies, right?
Yes, that's right, and that is the standard way. That is the standard way in which we do it. From parting wild horses mane, you bring it in and out. From shuttles, you just step out directly.
And speaking of the hands and the arms and the transition from parting wild horse mane, you pivot without really doing anything to your arms, and here you first twist the arms and then pivot.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's actually they're sort of inverses of each other.
Okay.
right? Because from Parting Wild Horse's mane, you move the feet and you don't move the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do the rest of the stuff. With Fair Lady Work shuttles, you do the arms first, then you move the feet and the arms don't change. So, you know, with Parting Wild Horse's mane, you start with the arms changing. With Parting Wild Horse's mane, you start with the feet moving, no arms. With shuttles, you start with the arms changing first, then you go ahead. Okay, so let us do the whole of the Fair Lady Work shuttle sequence to ward off left, and let's just do it with me and see if there's anything that you want to work on. So I'll go in the same direction as you. So we're going to start in single whip. So single whip, and I'll call some cues just as a reminder. So we're in single whip ending posture. Fair Lady Work shuttle number 1, shift weight to the right, left arm big circle, left foot turns in, both arms to the side. Now shift weight back, left arm pulls across the chest, step to the side with the right foot, arms crossed, chest to the side, arms open. Now chest back to the corner as you strike. Number 2, shift weight back, press down with the palms. Shift weight around, we'll do the standard stepping first, foot to the back, step around, shuttle the arms, heel touch, arms closed, and strike. Number 3, shift weight back, press down, right toe lifts, change footwork. Open the arms, rotate the arms. Cross the arms, right arm to the corner, step out, arms open, heel touch, and strike. Number 4, we'll do modified footwork. Press down, pull, go as far as you can with the left. Now step behind you with the right. Start shuttling the arms, left foot to the side. When the arms are crossed, heel touch for your bow stance. Open the arms, foot flatten, and strike. Grassbird's tail, shift weight back, rotate the arms into rollback shape. Now pivot the right heel to the corner, sit back weight, step back out again with the, or just step straight out with the left foot, ward off left. Okay, any questions? Okay, so from there we do Grassbird's tail, we get to single whip. That, the way I think about it, is the end of the first chunk of the 4th section. Then we get into the second chunk. The second chunk starts with cloud hands, and then we do snake creeps down, and we'll do a lot of stuff in that thing, and we end up back at single whip. And then we do cloud hands again. Then we do high pat on horse and a bunch of stuff. End with Grassbird's tail, single whip, no cloud hands, snake creeps down, and then we finish. So we're at the end of the first chunk. So what I'd like to do, we're going to get into snake creeps down. I just want to show you the movement, remind you of the movement, and then ask Susan to join me, and we'll just talk about the applications, and then we'll practice it. So if I go in this direction, so I've done, we finished the shuttles, we've done cloud hands, we're in single whip. So single whip, yield forward, open the back toe, shift the weight back, sink down, and come forward. And this is the end of snake creeps down. Sometimes people come to here. This is not the end of snake creeps down. This is the beginning of the next one. So Susan, could we quickly, yes, Susan is here. Torn untimely from a mug of tea. So the things that Susan does for Tai Chi Chuan. Let's do it this way around. Okay, so let's say Susan grabs my wrist. So I'm going to step back and I'm going to pull her in, and I'm going to change my grip and sink down. So I've got her sinking down here. Then I can step forward and give her a knee. Another thing that one can do here, and so that, if you the movement after the first snake creeps down is Golden Rooster, and so that's the knee in Golden Rooster, is coming forward after snake creeps down and, you know, giving the knee to your opponent. Another thing that you can do, so let's say she grabs, I shift back, come down, is I can just step forward and strike. So here, this is just a strike. We see this in snake creeps down to 7 stars. So what we're practicing in the form from snake creeps down are two different responses to your opponent. The last thing I want to just show you in close-up, if Susan grabs me, I'm going to pull her in, and the reason why we sink is I'm going to change my grip. So by just taking my hand down, I now control the grip. And so from here, I can do all sorts of things. I've now got the grip. And this is quite similar. For example, if you think about needle at C bottom, it's a similar sort of thing where somebody grabs me, I go on the other side, and I now control their wrists. Here, she's grabbing me, and I come down. So that's all there is to it. Okay, thank you, Susan. Good. Let's review the footwork. This is, we all know this. This is not an easy movement. And so what I'd like you to do is, as Nancy Lauscher says, it's all about body posture and body alignment. So make sure you, yes, Rogelio.
I don't know if I should have asked this before Susan left, but when Master Yang and some very proficient performer does it, they go very low.
Ah.
Is there a application for going very low, or that's just because you can?
No. In fact, Master Yang has said that when you do it in practice, you do not go very low. In fact, the going very low is showing the world how good you are. So there's actually, in martial arts terms, no need to go low. So don't feel under any obligation.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard studies of the application being going under someone's leg or something like that. So it has not
yeah, that'd be interesting. Let me know if you find it. I haven't heard that one.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that was the reason. You could like go under someone and pull it up. Or
right.
They might be just making it
yeah.
up. I don't know.
Yeah, the ones that I've seen Master Yang Jin talk about don't require you to go very low. I mean, there's the two that I showed, they're both coming down, one with the knee, the other one. The other movement where you go down is you actually do a shoulder strike. And again, for that, so you pull back, go down, and you just want to get low enough that you're under them to push, to shoulder into their chest. And again, you don't need to go very low for that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good. So let's talk about the footwork. So we start in the bow stance. The first is we yield forward slightly, just a little bit, to make it easier to open the back foot. So open the back foot to the corner, to the back corner. Then shift your weight back. So the front, when you've shifted your weight back, your front leg is naturally straight. It's not locked, but it's naturally straight. Now we sink down. And if you sink down even just an imaginary bit, that's fine. I can't go very low myself. The one thing that you should try and avoid when you sink down, two things actually. One is don't sink your whole body in this direction, because then you lose the 70-30 weight distribution. Your center of gravity here should just, and when you watch Master Yang, you'll see that both his knees bend. He just takes his hips straight down. And so maybe you go down 1 millimeter, maybe you go down 2 millimeters, whatever, maybe you go down a centimeter, whatever you can. The main reason why we don't want to go too low is the way we do it often is we bring this knee in and we then put pressure on the knee. So it's very important when you're in this position to keep your knee and toe in a line. Look and see, and then when you're doing the form, if you can't look, feel the pressure on your right foot. Make sure that you don't have more pressure on the inside than the outside. That'll tell you your knee has come in. Okay? So that's the footwork. Now we'll talk about the arm movements and then we'll talk about the body movement, which is, as always, perhaps more important than the arms. So we're starting with single whip here. Shift weight forward, open the back foot. Now the first thing you remember I did is I brought Susan in. So as I move back, my left hand comes in. So I move back, the left hand comes in. I sink down, the left hand comes down to my hips, and then it goes down the side. Right. And so the left hand essentially is making this circular movement, or like a C-shaped movement. It's coming in sort of to the shoulder, down to the hips, and then down the leg. So that's what the hand is doing. The left hand is doing. Yep. And remember that when we think about the movement, the end of the movement, the pause we have is here. We pause here. We won't stay here long because of risks to knees and things, but this is the end of the movement. Yes.
So looking at your back knee, would there be also a point that you should not pass of going above your toes in this direction?
No. No, in this case, that's not an issue. If you can go down further, do.
Okay.
If your body allows it. The reason why, as I understand it, when we say we're in a bow stance and the knee doesn't go further than the toe, it's not primarily sort of a knee damage issue. It's body mechanics. If your knee is too far forward, the attachment of the thigh muscles that in fact go over the front of the knee, and so the ligaments attach here, they have, it's too hard to pull around this corner, so that it's harder to go back if you are too far forward. So that means we don't go too far forward, so that in this position it's easier for us to go back. But when we go down or when we're in an empty stance, that's not an issue. Okay, now let's talk about the body turning or the body movement. This is where, and we haven't done our waist exercises for a while. You remember we were doing the side to side waist exercise, right? So we were, just moving our torso to the side. And that's actually the waist movement that we're using here, if your waist allows it. So from here, so the first thing that happens is when I say I shift forward my weight, I actually can get my center of gravity forward by just moving my torso forward. You can see it's going forward in that direction. My torso goes forward, I open the back foot. Now I come back, I sink, and when my arm goes down, my torso goes in the plane. Let me change direction to here. So from here, okay. So from here, I yield forward. So you should hardly see any movement because I'm coming straight towards the camera. I come back, and then here I'm coming towards the camera as my arm goes down. What you want to avoid is to go down like this, because if you tilt this direction, you can see you've got no support here. We've only got two legs. You're going to lose balance. So don't always move your body in the direction of the supporting foot, which is in this plane. So let's put that all together. So we're in single whip. Yield forward, open the back foot. Shift weight back, bring the left hand in. Sink down, extend the left hand, extend the torso. And come back to single whip. Just close your back foot. You're back in single whip. And in fact, that's how we're going to practice it, because we'll need this for Golden Rooster. So yield forward, open the back foot. Push back, front leg straight, left arm in. Sink down, hand to the hips. Come forward with waist movement. Now lift the left hand and bring the back foot in. You're back at single whip. This is in fact the beginning of the next movement, but we're just practicing so that we can go round and round. The last thing I just wanted to remind you of, we've talked a lot about the left hand. The right hand, the idea, if you can, is to keep your back arm in whatever angle you've got it at. So if you've got it here, just keep it here. If you've got it here, just keep it here. It doesn't change through the whole of Snake Creeps Down. Let's do this again. Single whip. Ending posture. Yield forward, open the back toe. Shift back, left hand in, sink down, left hand down the leg, moving the chest in the direction of the front leg. Now, shift forward, weight, lift the front foot, bring the back foot in, and straighten the torso. So you're back in single whip. So we can do it again. Yield forward, open the back foot. Shift weight back, bring the left hand in, sink down, and down the leg. Now, shifting weight forward, lift the left foot, bring the right foot in. This is the beginning of Golden Rooster. And re-establish, so you're back torso vertical. Yield forward, open the back foot, shift weight back, sink, forward. And next movement, shift forward, lift the left arm, bring the back foot in. And relax. So, just do that a few times. I'll have a quick look and see if there's anything I missed. And again. Okay, one more time. And finish. Okay, so just a couple of things to mention. One is we'll practice it we have a few more times before we run out of time. What I'd like you to try and coordinate is the upper and lower body. So open, back, down, forward. So coordinate the back, down, and the down may just be nothing, and forward, and maybe just the slightest movement of the chest, but coordinate back, down, forward with the arm. Back, down, forward. The other thing is that when the left hand comes back and goes down, it's not doing this. It just stays sitting all the way down. So we're not bringing it here and then diving it down. It's just coming back. Wrist position doesn't change. Okay, I'm seeing nods. That's good. Let's do it a couple more times.
You mean the hand never points down?
It's not needle at sea bottom. Okay. So when you're Master Young Jin and you're down his wrist is still sitting a little bit, and his arm is sort of horizontal because he's down so low that it's like it's parallel to his leg, which is pretty much horizontal. But it's never down like this. It comes back and sits. And so, actually, let me see. Susan, would you mind? Let me just show you why I think that's the case. I just wanted to check the arm. Yeah. So if Susan grabs me here, I may do, when I do the application, sorry, when I'm coming down, I don't really have to do this. Change this side. Yep. Other way. Yep. I don't have to do this. I just have to do this. By going down, you can see that the angle of my wrist doesn't really have to change much, because I'm actually using going down to create the leverage that forces her to open her fingers. Thank you. Okay. Let's do it 2 more times and then we'll call it good. Single whip, ending posture. Snake creeps down, yield forward, open the back foot. Shift back, keep that back knee and toe in a line. Down, hand down, forward, hand forward. Next movement, shift forward, lift the left hand, close the back toe. Now, re-establish your torso vertical here. We're in single whip. Yield forward slightly, open the right foot. Shifting back, left leg straight, sinking, left hand down, down the leg. New movement, shift weight forward, lift the left hand, bring the right foot in. And from there we'll go into, next week we'll do Golden Rooster. Are there any questions? Yes.
Quick one. While looking at the meanings of and the translations, I've noticed that usually there try to be literal translations. But she has nothing to do with snake creeping down. So someone became creative in English, right?
So I believe, so she means essentially low stance.
Right.
And in fact, at one point, I believe, there were some people who were giving the English as low posture single whip, which is pretty much what it is. The Chinese is just xie, which is just low posture. And I don't know whether there ever was a snake creeps down verbiage in the Chinese. But yes, they are different. Good catch.
Thank you.
Good. So let's close and we'll do the announcements afterwards. Okay. 同学们，再见。
老师，再见。